Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone
Now
watching
turn right
this
onto Eldon Street.
is having a great day. Alright, so in this video I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about EVs in general in regards to battery power and the range. So I'm over here at 18% state of charge. So that's probably the biggest concern with people is the battery range with people, and what they expect to get out of a car, and kind of what their daily commute looks like, kind of maybe a misconception about EVs in general, how long it takes, how many miles, this and that. So just to give you an idea, like a full battery is like, for me, and I drive a Model 3, and I don't have the long range version, so a full battery for me is 260 to 70 miles. And in
500 feet, turn right onto Crestview Drive.
And they say the new Cybertruck coming out is supposed to be like 500 miles.
Now turn right onto Crestview Drive.
Range. I think that's pretty nuts. So that's basically double, you know, roughly double this car. So twice the amount of range. But how do I get for the range? So Monday through Friday, you know, I'm driving pretty much let's say like 25 miles a day at least, and it's Friday and I drove every day. You know, you could see now my battery's empty. Now I didn't charge it every night, and I basically had no range anxiety, I guess you could say. Basically I navigate my route to make sure, you know, by the time I'm ready to charge, you know, we're good to go. So what I'm trying to say is plan your routes, you know. So I knew by the time I'm ready to hit the charger that my battery would basically be empty, and that's kind of, I think, like a good practice for your battery too. And it's something you think about when you first start, you know, I guess switch over to an EV from a gas car, is your range. And I think that's important to a lot of people. But I'll tell you that, like, for, you know, unless you're driving like more than 200 miles a day, like you can pay like, you know, 10-15 bucks, and not even less than that probably, and get like 50 to 80% state of charge, and then plug in over, you know, like there's so many options really, and that rate is just growing. And I'll tell you, like, at the end of 2021 till now, I see a lot more, you know, EVs on the road, definitely this year. But at the end of the day, you know, the charging network is gonna grow too. Tesla talked about opening it up to non-Teslas. So at the end of the day, like, I never have a concern about charging, because I charge overnight, you know. So and I don't even charge every day. I just, you know, when it's convenient, honestly, like I don't go out of my way. So it's key to plan. So I think that's the biggest advice I'll give people is, you know, just plan when it comes to range, because 46 miles is a lot. Like, and honestly, like, I'll tell you guys firsthand, like, that could be wrong. Like, personally, like, I always like to be conservative there. Like, I would just automatically say like 35 miles. Like, I would just shave 10 off just to be safe. That's just how my brain worked. I even, you know, drove a gas car like that, just because I wasn't trying to be stuck on the side of the road. But yeah, 35 miles, like, honestly, like, there's probably like 5 supercharger stations within 35 miles. Like, are you kidding me? And like, I'm telling you guys, like, I started Monday at like, I think 89% battery. And if you do the math, you know, like, I'm driving I don't know, like 20-25% battery every day, and then I'm also charging at night. So sometimes I'll get back like 10 to 20% depending on when I charge it, the rate that I'm getting. But I don't go to superchargers ever. Like, I never came down to that point, is what I'm trying to tell you. I debunked the theory. Like, I actually didn't get rid of, like, we didn't get rid of the gas car, like, we actually still have it, but don't even use it. But yeah, I debunked that. Like, I thought that, hey, maybe I'll need my gas car if I feel like I need to do like a lot of driving that day or something like that. That's how I felt when I first got the car. But I've totally debunked that to a point where it's just natural progression. I think, like, you just do some planning, like, no, oh, blah blah blah, I'm going here. You'll be surprised, like, there's plugs everywhere, like, especially in public parking places, like in garages. Like, I mean, here in Northern Virginia, no one really cares if you just plug in your car. Like, no one considers that stealing. Please comment below if you think that's stealing. But all the public charging is free too. When I go to the grocery store, we go to Harris Teeter, local, shout out to Harris Teeter. They got like 4 Volta chargers that are free, and those charge a lot quicker than your average 12-volt plug, and I'm talking about the same thing that you plug your laptop into, so everyone has these. There's one probably outside of your house or neighborhood you didn't even think about. But one thing I definitely recommend people to do, especially if you live in a apartment building, first, like, inquire. You'll be surprised, there's probably plugs out there. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll tell you a funny thing. I have a 100-foot extension cord in my trunk, and I never used it. And I just bought it because I thought that, what if I need to charge one time? And yeah, it's still in like the false bottom area. I keep a 100-foot extension cord, and I never use it. I've never used it. I've never need to pull it out because, like, there's plugs everywhere. I've got my charging situation sorted out. So yeah, I just think, I wanted to give you guys that firsthand, because I had those kind of, natural thoughts and fears, like, oh, like anyone would, like, if your battery runs out. And I'll tell you, my batteries never run out. I've never, that's never happened to me. So, like, I don't even know. This is one of the lowest I even like to get it to, 17%. I think I got it down to like 10 one time. But yeah, I mean, think about it. 10% of the battery, 260 miles. That's still 26 miles. Within 26 miles, there's, like, I'm not even kidding, there's like at least 4 supercharging stations, and then probably like 10 public charging stations. So, like, yeah, I mean, 10% is a lot, that's, yeah. So hopefully this video helps give you some, like, real first-hand perspective, because I get it when it comes to range anxiety. But I'll tell you, the most that I've spent on, like, additional costs is 2 things I bought. One is from the Tesla website, and I highly recommend research the adapters. So I was able to plug into the dryer plug. Our plug has, like, I think it was called the 10-30 plug. So that was, I think, $40, maybe $30, maybe $45. Very worth it. I mean, if you put it in perspective compared to gas. So anyways, that in
500 feet,
it barely adds
right
to your electricity bill, like it's probably like $20 a month. My charge stats say that my 30 days of driving is like $22 a month.
Church Road.
So yeah, that 1030 is really awesome. It charges very quickly, as like and I barely use it too. That's, you'd be surprised, like, as much as, like, when I first got the car, that I thought that I would be using these things, like, because of naturally you're like, oh, range anxiety, but you have it sorted out. Then, like, once you get it figured out, it works. It's like your cell phone. Think about it like your cell phone. which is why I like to leave mine in percentage mode, just because my brain already naturally thinks like that when it comes to my cell phone. So I try to, you know, think about it like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. I hope it helped. Subscribe to Tesla DMV. Hit like if you enjoyed this video.
Bear left onto
And I
East
hope you
Church
guys have
Road,
a great
then
day.
turn right